Styles for Scholar's Choice. And today I have the great honor of introducing the magic of childhood. At Scholar's Choice, we have created our 2020 catalog all about the magic of childhood. Because if childhood isn't magical, what is it? So let's start to explore. Over the next few weeks, we're going to go through the magic of childhood and share with you. If you hear a little voice in the background, it's my grandson Jackson. We had something fall and he got a little startled, so he ran off the scene. But he might come back and play, so if you see him come in, great. Because as soon as he saw this set, he ran to it because he could see the magic of what was happening. What's more magical than a giant spoon that can be mixing a magical potion for a giant, for a child? As we looked at and curated this piece, we wanted for children to become researchers, to become explorers, to be curious, and to embrace everything that we had for them. Can you imagine opening up, working with the schema of enveloping? We open it up and we find a bunny. Is this bunny for you, Jackson? And as the children begin to explore the bunnies, they see the differences and they begin to see the similarities. And we can talk to them in a way that's exciting and inviting for them to be beginning math by counting bunnies, subtracting bunnies, multiplying bunnies, and we can talk about colors and matching. So our little set of bunnies here, let me set them up here. And why bunnies? Because guys, they are magical. Children love bunnies. And bunnies are a part of how in our culture it's soothing and warm and loving and trusting because they're so kind, this little animal. And so children love the little bunnies. They can be taken and put as a part of dramatic play. They can be cuddled as little dollies, and it's all very, very inviting. Lauren, perhaps maybe you'd like to come and bring him in and play with the bunnies.
Do you want to play with the bunnies? Come see me.
Here are the bunnies. Look at Jackson's mommy's going to come and sit down with him and show him all the bunnies and what's inside. Oh, look. Oh, show mommy the bunnies. Can you give mommy another bunny?
What color is this bunny?
Aww. So let's talk about some of the other pieces as he sits down and looks. In front of us, we have a small world tray. And for children, do you want to play with this? And for small children, small world is magical. Get down and really take a look at the world of magic that they're exploring. And when we do this, we can see that the little fairies have their own chairs. And children can explore their imagination. And this can be anything. This can be a forest glade. This can be their backyard. This can be a land far, far away. I love to be able to take literature and tie it in with the small world. But in our magic of childhood, we explore small worlds and we give you lots of ideas. As we take a look at our magic of childhood, we begin to see that it actually is an inspirational catalog, not just about products for your center. Take a look as we inspire you to be using pebbles, as we inspire you for how babies are exploring with metallics, looking at the reflection, feeling the surface, exploring with their senses. As you know, the senses are our brain, are our doors to our brain. And this is how we take information in. And this is why it's so important that our products are tactile and that our products explore the senses. Take a look at this fabulous jar. The children are able to see through it, and then the great scoop that allows them to be adding to it. I can make a magic potion by adding pebbles and shaking it around. I can be the next Coco Chanel by making the most fabulous perfume. These jugs are very big. Maybe they're a magic potion for a giant that's going to come and visit us. Perhaps tonight when we leave our center, we write a note and we leave it here for the fairy. And the next morning when they come in, there's a response for the children. That the fairy has said how much they love their classroom and that they appreciate that they sent them a note and that they look forward to the next note to come again. When children are in centers with us, what we want to do is inspire them to think, to explore. Just as Jackson is exploring throughout the marketing department right now, because Emily has so many magnificent things set up that aren't a part of our display here. I showed you the large magic spoon. Just look at this child. Look at the awe and wonder in her eyes as she's playing with a spoon that's as large as she is. Where in the world do children get to experience products that are as big as they are and having fun with them? In the future weeks, we're going to talk about mathematics. We're going to talk more about small worlds. We're going to talk about exploration and discovery. And we're going to talk about them all in the way that children learn. Let me just get up here for a moment and head back to the sofa. When a child is playing, it is the work of the child to play. Marie Montessori shared that with us many, many years ago, that play is the work of the child. And when a child is playing and learning, it's important that they are able to self-direct their own play. We tried to have Jackson come and sit with us, and he chose to go off. And it's so important that we understand that. Children are learning through self-exploration. They are not learning because we tell them all to sit down and listen exactly to what it is we're saying. The next part of it is that children need to have discovery-based learning, where what we set out for them, you know, we may set out a particular small world of fairies, and that may become a construction zone in the next 5 minutes because that's where they take it. But that's what we want for children. And when children are struggling with something, pouring beads into a vessel, and it's not going well, the important message for us is that we do not show them how to do it. We do not go over and say, oh, here, this is the best way, or use a vessel that has a bigger opening. What we want to do is allow children to explore for themselves. When we show a child how to do something, we forever rob them of the ability for them to discover that learning for themselves. And in the playful learning approach through discovery-based play, we understand here at Scholars Choice the importance of children discovering learning for themselves. We set up provocations in order to extend their learning, in order to scaffold them to the next level of development. But we don't tell children how to play. And you can see here today that when things don't go as planned and the child is off some screen somewhere, that is what needs to happen. Because here at Scholars Choice, the most important part for us is that children learn through their play and explore and discover. The Magic of Childhood, which is our new catalog that we are so very proud of, really takes you as an educator to new places of discovery. And as I said, in the weeks to come, we're going to explore this book and how each section takes you through how to use the materials and how to really bring out the magic of childhood for children. Emily has all kinds of notes up here for me, so if you see me looking up to the right, I'm following them. We want to make sure that I mention the contest that's in the beginning. At the beginning, win an outdoor learning environment. And you see that we just don't say a mud kitchen, it's an outdoor learning environment. Because what we know is we want children to be outside about 5 hours a day now. We have these magnificent classrooms, but they are not, it's not reflected outside. So what we need to do is to take everything we have inside and really put it outside. So we're going to give one lucky center the opportunity to win $10,000 learning environment. And this is going to be very, very exciting for you. So make sure that you enter. The contest is live now, and it tells you how. When you get your Magic of Childhood, you'll know. Or you can even go online to our catalogs and go down and take a look at the Magic of Childhood, and it'll tell you right in there. The catalogs are now available at retail as well, so you can go on into your retail store and ask them for one of the Magic of Childhood. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram as Emily brings every day the Magic of Childhood to life through great provocations and learning opportunities, and how she shows you how to scaffold children's learning with new and interesting and provocative setups for children. We are going to be seeing you over the next few weeks, and it's going to be every Monday. We're going to be exploring the magic of childhood. And as I said, this is just a preview. This is really just the first cover of the cover and a little bit of a sprinkling of what's coming. So just to review some of the things that will be coming, let me share with you. We'll be talking about mathematics. We're going to be talking about loose parts. We're going to be talking about outdoor learning. We're actually going to be having one of our Facebook Lives will actually be outside, where you'll be bringing children in and showing them. We're going to be talking about the power of potion and mixing and blending and mashing and stirring. And we're going to talk about how we can make language rich in our classrooms and how that also brings forth the magic of childhood when we have this lexicon of language. There's my big word for the day. And as we talk and encourage you to speak to your children with the richest language that you possibly can. Something isn't just purple, it's violet, or green is emerald. And we want to encourage you to speak to children with the best, richest language that you can in order to facilitate and grow their cognitive development. So, and also we'll be talking about the playful learning approach. I did talk to you about a few of them today. Children also develop and learn their social skills through cooperative and collaborative play. And why I mention both of those is that when we talk about collaborative play, some people think that that just means non-competitive play. It's okay for children to play games and for one of them to win and for one of them not to win. It's all right. It really is. They're going to be just fine. They need to learn how to give and take in a social environment. And that's also one of the steps of our playful learning approach. And finally, and the fifth one, is that children need to be able to have endless opportunities to express themselves, to play with the toys, to talk to us, to use that language, which I talked to you about, that lexicon of language that they'll be working through. And as they have that rich language that they're able to express to us, to each other, with this very rich language of where the fairies are and where they might live and where they go when they hide. And then where the superheroes go, or how we might be building the most magnificent skyscrapers in the future weeks. So please join us, and we hope that you're as excited about the magic of childhood as we are. And as I said, this is on its way to you in your center. If you don't have one, pop into retail. They have them for you. Emily, was there anything else that I forgot? I'm looking at your list there. I think I'm pretty good. Do you think so too? Oh, she's nodding and smiling at me, so I think I got the go ahead. But remember, as you work with your children tomorrow, the magic of childhood that you can bring to your classroom by inspiring your children with innovative and new ideas every day, setting up learning provocations for the children to come into. Could you imagine if every morning your tough tray had a new provocation for children? My goodness, would they ever be excited to come to school? Remember, when you're dealing with behavioral issues in your classroom, often if we can just introduce some new and interesting ideas for them, it takes them to a wonderful world of exploration, and we manage that behavior. Thank you so much for joining us today. Don't forget, next week on Tuesday, there's a webinar talking to parents about the uncomfortable truth of parenthood, and that some of we're going to be talking about some controversial topics of snowplow parents and helicopter parents, and that your children need to be able to fall down, and it's okay. And sometimes if they make a mistake, they have to own up to those consequences. So join us as we talk to parents and educators about the uncomfortable truths of parenthood and how we can make children who are strong and ready to take on the world as they grow up. Thanks again. This is Julie from Scholar's Choice. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.